afternoon. It's exactly 12:01. Actually doing a video during the day, not from my car. Hold on, I'm trying to get the seat right. There we go. Just wanted to do a quick information type video. About I've seen a lot of videos, not on YouTube but on TikTok that I go on with police officers in there, and I've seen some comments, and they told me some comments about all this our tax dollars and all this at work, and the guy made a very good point. The police said, "Come on up then." And he made a very good point. He said, sorry. He said, sorry, but, police officer is the job. Alright, I'm trying to talk serious. He said, just a job like everybody else is. And they're human, they get a break. So, a lunch break, just like we do. So, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and say that if you see a police officer, I know it's been done in the past, but just thank them for their service. They got a hard job to do. Just to share a little information about one time I got pulled over. Last time I got pulled over, well, not last time, but one time I got pulled over, and it was my fault. I knew it was. It was for going across the WL line to go around somebody, and I knew it was my fault. And the police officer, he came out of nowhere. All I saw was light. So, and he came up. He was a big guy. I don't mean big like fat, but like muscular. At least what I saw. Come up and just start cussing and yelling and screaming at me, and which I totally deserved. That's not something you should do. And I sat there with my hand on the steering wheel. That's all you got to do. Cat says I'm coming over. Interrupt your story. And I sat there and I said, as he's cussing me out, Cat, get your big butt off their mouse. There we go. Hey, kitty. Anyway, and he was yelling and cursing, and I was sitting there with my hand on the steering wheel, and all I said, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, looking up at him. Stop it. Alright. Get down. You're done. So I'm yes sir and no sir him, and as he's cussing me out, and my buddy jumps in there and tries to say something like, well, you can't, and I just said, shut up, which I never do. I'm not that kind of guy. People that know me, I don't just say, blurt out, shut up or do this or do that. I'm not that kind of guy. So, um, then the officer, once he was done, he asked me for my license and registration, and so I gave it to him, and he went back to his car for about 4 or 5 minutes, and he gets out and he stands in front of his car, and he says, "Mr. Ernst," he said, "can you step out of the car and come to the back of your car?" I'm like, "Sure." So I walked out, I stepped out, I walked back, and he goes, looks at me dead serious, and he goes, "You know why I cussed you out, right?" I said, "Yeah, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done what I did." He said, you know you could have hurt somebody or somebody in your car or yourself." I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Okay, now," he said, and he looked at me like, "Who taught you to yes, sir, and no, sir, police officers?" And I just smiled and I said, "It was my mom." And he goes, "Because we don't get that very often. You started yes, sir, and no, sir, me, and I was cussing you out." He said, "You just threw me off." He said, "I didn't know what to do." He said, "I just kept yelling and yelling." And he said, "You started saying yes, sir, no, sir," and he just like shocked, like, wait a minute. He said, "We're just not used to that. People, that amount of respect or just being nice like that." He said, "Especially when I was laying into you." I'm like, "Yeah, you know." Uh, I said, "I deserved it." He goes, "Well," he said, "yeah." He said, "I think you learned your lesson." He said, "Mr. Ernst, I could give you a DUI for what you did." I just looked at him like, "Oh, okay." He said, "But because you were nice and you kept your hands where I could see them and you served me when I was yelling at you," he says, "I'm just going to let you go with reckless op." And at that point, I was just like, whew. So he said, "Just pay the ticket." And he said, just go down, pay the ticket, and that's at 2 points, whatever, on your record. And that was that. Um, I said, "Thank you, sir." And before I left, he said, "Go tell your mom for me. Tell her thank you." I said, "I will, and I will give her a kiss for you." So, because he said she just saved you from a DUI, which they would have had to prove, with the breathalyzer, which I wasn't drinking. But um, I was like, "Yes, sir, I will. I will go thank her and give her a kiss for you." And not the fact that his skin color, he was black, but he was big, and that don't have anything to do with it. But uh, he was very, very like shaped guy, and I just, for one, he scared me. But yeah, they're just people too, doing their job like me and you, trying to earn a living, take care of their family. So um, next time you see one in the store or wherever it may be, get pulled over. Hopefully not. Just tell them thank you. Um, Same as anybody else. I mean, um, you may hate them, you may like them, um, depending on your situation. Um, but yeah, just remember in your mind, whatever your situation is, they're just human. They're doing their job. They're protecting and serving. Um, Give them the same respect that you want them to give you, and it'll be good. Like that guy, I served the heck out of him, and then at the end he was like giving me the same respect back. It took a minute, but he did. Not by not giving me the DUI. Um, so if I would have been rude with him or let my friend start chewing him out like he wanted to, that's another thing. He said, "I noticed you told your friend to shut up." I was like, "Yeah." But if I would have let him go, then he would have been like, "All right, this guy's a punk. We're gonna go ahead and he might have went the other way," which I really thank him for. I remember who he works with, what township or county or whatever, but I'm not gonna say it. But if I ever run into him again, I will definitely tell him thank you for protecting us and not giving me that DUI. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And as far as them making videos, I'm glad to see they're on there trying to show us that, you know, they're human too. Um, which they shouldn't have to do, but um, yeah. So, so leave the nasty comments on their videos out of it, or anybody's for that matter. That's not cool. Um, so, I'm not saying that everybody should not have a nasty comment, but unless they really doing something outrageous, maybe leave something not nasty, but say, look, man, that's kind of weird. But leave it at that. But I've seen some weird videos on there, so but yeah, you know, don't make fun of anybody. I know I addressed bullying in my last couple videos. It's not a good thing. So yeah, just respect everybody the way you want to be respected or treated. So we're all here on this earth together. So until they find another planet for us to live on. No, I'm just kidding. So alrighty, that's it. Thanks for watching, and God bless.